Hey everyone. So, whether you're a Tesla fan or just kind of fascinated by robots like I am, I bet you've at least heard of Optimus.
Yeah, it's hard to miss all the headlines, especially with all the progress they've been making.
And that's exactly why we're doing a deep dive today, going way beyond just those headlines.
Right, we're going to dig into all the details from a recent YouTube video, really unpack what Optimus can do, what it might be able to do in the future.
Like Optimus being designed for disaster areas, not just, making you a sandwich.
Exactly, way more than just a household helper. So, is this our first glimpse into a world, where robots are just part of everyday life?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? Let's see what we can find out.
The speed that Optimus is evolving at is really what gets me. 3 major redesigns, 4 hand upgrades, all in just 2 years.
Yeah, that's wild. It really is like watching evolution, but, sped up like 1,000 times.
And Tesla isn't just playing around in a lab. They're actually putting Optimus to work.
In their own offices and factories, right?
Right. Gathering all this real-world data to make Optimus even better.
Smart. It's kind of like how they developed their self-driving cars, learning by doing, right?
Exactly. And it's working. Optimus is already handling some pretty complex tasks like navigation and stuff that used to need a person.
So Optimus is out there in the real world. But how does it stack up against, the other big names in robots, like those super athletic robots we see from Boston Dynamics and Agility Robotics?
Well, when it comes to stamina, Optimus is kind of blowing everyone away. It can run for, get this, 23 hours straight on just one charge.
Wait, 23 hours? Seriously?
Seriously? Most of the others can only go for like 4 to 8 hours max.
Wow. That's a huge difference. It's like having a worker that never needs a break.
Yeah.
I mean, think about what that means for places that need things running 24/7.
Absolutely. And here's the real kicker. Optimus is going to be way more affordable. Like under $20,000.
Like, out here.
I know, right? Compared to like $150,000 or even $250,000 for its competitors.
So it runs longer, it's cheaper, it's starting to sound like Optimus might be winning this robot race.
It really might be. Think about like warehouses or shipping places. A whole team of Optimus robots could work around the clock without breaking the bank.
Okay, let's talk brains. What makes this thing tick? I mean, 23 hours of work. There's got to be some serious processing power going on in there.
Well, Optimus is using the same type of chip that Tesla uses in their self-driving cars.
So it's got a brain built for speed and handling tons of information.
Exactly. We're talking a 20 millisecond response time, 10 times faster than us humans.
Wow. No wonder it can work for so long. It's thinking and reacting way faster than we can.
Right. And it's not just about speed. Optimus's neural network, like its brain, is designed to learn, kind of like Tesla's self-driving system.
So it's not just following a set of instructions. It's actually learning and getting better over time.
Exactly. It can adapt to new places, figure things out on its own.
So it's more than just a robot. It's like a learning machine.
It really is. It's got 175 billion parameters in its neural network.
Okay, I'll be honest. I don't know exactly what that means.
Yeah.
But it sounds impressive.
It is. It basically means that Optimus can handle way more complex tasks than most robots out there. It's not just doing simple things, it's learning how to think.
And from what I've seen, Optimus doesn't just think. It moves incredibly well, too. Those hands look like they can handle almost anything.
Oh, yeah, the dexterity is amazing. 22 degrees of freedom in each hand. It can even pick up things that weigh like 22 pounds.
22 degrees of freedom. Is that like super bendy fingers or something?
Pretty much. Think about all the tiny movements we make with our hands. Optimus can do that, too. Elon Musk even thinks it'll be able to thread a needle by the end of the year.
Thread a needle. Okay, now that's just showing off. But seriously, that kind of precision, that's going to be huge for a robot, right?
Absolutely. It means Optimus can do all sorts of delicate tasks, not just heavy lifting. And speaking of moving, have you seen it walk? It doesn't just clump around. It uses special algorithms to walk like we do.
Yeah. I saw that video. It's kind of freaky how smoothly it moves. So it's not just strong and smart, it's graceful too.
Yeah, you could say that. Even on uneven ground, it can keep its balance, just like a person would. Think about, rescue workers in a disaster zone. Optimus could move just as well.
Okay, so it can work long hours. It's strong, it's smart, it's agile. What else? What's the secret sauce?
Well, the battery tech is pretty amazing. Optimus has a battery with an energy density of 300 watt-hours per kilogram.
Okay, Honestly, those numbers don't mean much to me. What's the takeaway?
It means Optimus can run for a really long time without needing a huge, heavy battery. It's all about efficiency.
Okay. So it's not just about how long the battery lasts, it's about how much power they can pack into a small space.
Exactly. And they're using the same type of battery cells that are in Tesla's Model 3 and Y cars.
So they're taking what they already know about electric cars and using it for robots. Makes sense.
Right. And get this, Optimus can fully charge in just 1 hour. That's 4 times faster than the Boston Dynamics Atlas.
Wow, that's crazy fast. So not only can it work for a long time, it doesn't need to spend a lot of time recharging.
Exactly. Plus, these batteries can last for years, like up to 10 years before they start to lose their charge.
So we're talking about a robot that's built to last, not just a flashy prototype.
Definitely. Oh, and I almost forgot, Optimus can charge wirelessly, too.
Wait, seriously? No more plugging it in?
Nope. No more messy cords. They haven't said exactly how it works, but people think it might have a charging pad built into its feet.
Okay, that is seriously cool. So it's like just walks over to its charging spot and powers up automatically. The future is now.
Right. And they're even thinking about adding solar charging.
Solar charging. Like, it just soaks up some sun and keeps going.
Yep. Especially useful for working outside or like in a disaster zone where there might not be any power.
That's amazing. So not only is it super high tech, it's environmentally friendly too.
Exactly. And it's made from recyclable materials too, so they're really thinking about the whole picture.
That's awesome. But hold on, I thought we were just talking about a household helper. This is sounding way more advanced than that.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. And that's just the beginning. They're even working on dedicated charging stations for multiple Optimus units at once.
So they're thinking big, planning for a future where these robots are everywhere.
It seems like it. They're not just building a robot, they're building a whole system. We've been talking about Optimus being a helper around the house, but it can do so much more than that. What about, like, disaster relief?
Yeah, that's a great point. It's rugged design, and those sensors must make it perfect for handling dangerous situations.
Exactly. Imagine a robot that can go into a collapsed building, after an earthquake or a fire and help rescue people.
Or even just assess the damage, get information back to rescue teams without putting people at risk.
Right. And because it's a robot, it can work tirelessly in conditions that would be really dangerous for humans.
So it's not just about replacing human workers. It's about, keeping people safe and helping them do their jobs better.
Exactly. Optimus could be a real game changer in situations like that. And there's even more to it than that. It's being designed to, recognize human emotions.
Wait, really? A robot that understands how we're feeling?
That's the goal. The AI team is working on teaching it to pick up on those subtle cues, like facial expressions and tone of voice.
So it's not just about understanding our words, but also understanding how we say them.
Exactly. The idea is to make interacting with Optimus feel more natural, more human.
It's pretty mind-blowing, isn't it? To think that we might be on the verge of robots that can actually connect with us on an emotional level.
It is, but it also raises a lot of questions.
Yeah, like what does it mean for us if robots can start to understand our emotions?
Exactly. What are the ethical implications? Do they develop their own sense of self?
Whoa, now that's getting really deep.
I know, right?
This deep dive has been a wild ride so far. We've covered so much, from Optimus's incredible abilities to the mind-boggling possibilities, and even some pretty philosophical questions.
And we're just getting started. There's so much more to explore. In the next part, we're going to look at how Optimus could impact different industries.
From healthcare to manufacturing, even education. So stick around, because things are out to get even more interesting.
It's easy to get caught up in all the hype, but Optimus is still under development.
Right, it's not like you can just walk into a store and buy one yet.
Exactly. But the potential is definitely there, and one of the keys is that, AI and robots, they get better with experience.
So it's kind of like with Tesla's self-driving cars. The more they drive, the more data they collect, the better they get.
Exactly. The more Optimus robots are out there in the world, facing different situations,
The more they learn and improve.
Exactly. And, like any learning process, there are going to be some hiccups along the way.
Right, like it's not going to be perfect right out of the gate.
Right. Optimus might, make some mistakes, run into things it wasn't expecting, maybe even have a few funny little accidents.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. Yeah, I guess the important thing is that it learns from those experiences.
Exactly. Each little fumble is actually a chance to get better, to refine its algorithms, its brain, and make it more capable.
So it's like it's constantly evolving, getting smarter, more adaptable with every new challenge it faces.
Exactly. And as it becomes more capable, well, that just opens up even more possibilities for how we can use it.
Okay, so let's talk about those possibilities.
Oh.
We've already talked about disaster relief, but what other industries could Optimus really shake things up in?
Well, healthcare is a big one. Imagine Optimus assisting nurses and doctors in hospitals, helping with patient care, monitoring vital
Oh,
signs.
wow, yeah, that would be amazing, especially with the shortage of healthcare workers we're seeing in so many places.
Exactly. Optimus could help alleviate that burden, free up human healthcare workers to focus on the tasks that really require that human touch, the empathy, the expertise.
Right, it's not about replacing humans altogether. It's about, like, supporting them, making your jobs easier and more efficient.
Exactly. And it's not just about filling gaps, it's about improving the quality of care, too. Imagine Optimus providing personalized attention to elderly patients, reminding them to take their meds, even just keeping them company.
Yeah, that would be great. And it would give their families peace of mind knowing that someone or something is there to look after them.
Exactly. And then there's manufacturing. Imagine Optimus working alongside human workers in factories, handling those repetitive tasks, the ones that can be dangerous or physically demanding for humans.
Right, like lifting heavy objects, working in really hot or cold environments, all those things that can take a toll on human workers.
Exactly. Optimus could really revolutionize the way we make things, make the process safer, more efficient, and maybe even more cost effective.
Yeah, it would free up human workers to focus on those tasks that require, you know, creativity, problem solving, things robots aren't so good at yet.
Exactly. It's about finding the right balance, using robots for what they're good at and letting humans focus on what they're good at.
A perfect partnership. And what about education? Could Optimus play a role there too?
Definitely. Imagine Optimus assisting teachers in the classroom, providing individualized instruction to students, maybe leading some interactive learning activities.
Oh, wow, yeah. That could be a game changer for personalized learning, helping each student learn at their own pace in a way that works best for them.
Exactly. And it could help with those overcrowded classrooms too, give teachers more time to focus on individual students.
Yeah, that would be amazing. So we've got healthcare, manufacturing, education. It seems like Optimus could really have an impact on almost every aspect of our lives.
It really does seem that way. And those are just a few examples, the ones that are kind of easy to imagine right now.
Right. Who knows what other amazing applications we'll come up with as Optimus continues to evolve.
Exactly. It's really exciting to think about, but, it's not all sunshine and roses.
Yeah. There's some serious questions we need to consider, like, what does this mean for jobs? Will robots like Optimus put people out of work?
That's a valid concern, and it's something we need to be prepared for.
Yeah, like, how do we make sure that people are ready for the jobs of the future? Jobs that might not even exist yet.
Exactly. We need to be thinking about education, retraining programs, making sure people have the skills they need to thrive in a world where robots are playing a bigger and bigger role.
And it's not just about jobs. It's about making sure that this technology is used responsibly, that it benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Absolutely. We need to be mindful of the potential for inequality, make sure that everyone has access to the opportunities that this technology creates.
Right. It's about using technology to create a better future for all of us, not just making a few people richer or more powerful.
Exactly. It's about shaping the future we want, one where technology enhances our lives without undermining our values, our humanity.
Well said. Okay, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the tech behind all of this, specifically the battery and charging capabilities.
Right, we touched on it earlier, but there's a lot more to unpack there.
Okay, so remind me again, what's so special about Optimus's battery tech?
Well, the energy density is really impressive, 300 watt hours per kilogram. That's way higher than the industry average.
Okay, but in plain English, what does that mean?
It means they can tack a lot of power into a small, lightweight battery, which is crucial for a robot that needs to move around freely.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. So it's not just about how long the battery lasts, it's about how efficiently it uses that power.
Exactly. And remember, they're using those same Panasonic battery cells that are in a Model 3 and Y cars.
Right, right. So they're basically taking what they've learned from their electric car division and applying it to robots.
Exactly. And it's not just the battery cells themselves, it's the whole system, how it manages the power.
Ah, okay. So it's about optimizing every little detail to get the most out of that battery.
Precisely. And then there's that crazy fast charging, remember? Optimus can fully charge in just 1 hour.
Yeah, that's still blowing my mind. Most phones take longer than that to charge.
I know, right? It's a huge advantage, minimizing downtime and keeping Optimus up and running for longer stretches.
Definitely. And you said these batteries are designed to last for a long time too, right?
Yep, over 5,000 cycles, which translates to roughly 10 years of use before you start to see any significant degradation.
Okay, so we're not talking about some cheap battery that's going to die after a year or two. This is a serious, long-lasting power source.
Absolutely. Tesla's really focused on building durable and reliable technology, and that extends to the battery tech, too.
Okay, let's talk about that wireless charging feature for a minute. The whole no cords, no plugs thing.
Right. It just makes the whole charging process so much more convenient and streamlined, right? Imagine Optimus just walking over to its charging pad and powering up automatically.
It's like a robot pit stop. No human intervention required. It just takes care of itself.
Exactly. And that opens up a whole world of possibilities for how we can use Optimus.
Right, like it could work all night in a warehouse and then just go charge itself up before anyone even gets there in the morning.
Exactly. And don't forget about that potential for solar charging, harnessing the power of the sun to keep Optimus running even longer.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
Especially for outdoor applications or places where access to power might be limited.
It really is. It just adds another layer of versatility and resilience to Optimus's capabilities.
It's like they've thought of everything. Okay, we've talked a lot about the tech, but let's zoom out for a minute and think about the bigger picture.
Right. What does all of this mean for us, for society as a whole?
Exactly. What are the potential benefits, but also, what are the potential downsides of having robots like Optimus in our world?
Well, on the one hand, Optimus has the potential to revolutionize so many aspects of our lives, make work safer, more efficient, even create new industries we haven't even thought of yet.
It's exciting to think about all ways it could improve our lives, right? From taking on dangerous jobs to providing care and companionship.
Absolutely. But we can't ignore the potential downsides either, like the impact on employment.
Right, the whole robots taking our jobs thing. It's a valid concern.
It is. We need to be proactive, thinking about retraining programs, education, making sure people are prepared for the changes that are coming.
And it's not just about jobs. It's about making sure that this technology benefits everyone, that it doesn't just widen the gap between the haves and the have-nots.
Exactly. We need to be intentional about how we develop and deploy this technology, make sure it's used to create a more just and equitable world for everyone.
Right. It's not just about progress for progress's sake. It's about progress that lifts everyone up.
Absolutely. It's about shaping the future we want, one where technology serves humanity, not the other way around.
Well said. This part of our deep dive has been incredible, really eye-opening. We've explored the potential impact of Optimus on different industries, talked about some of the challenges we need to be mindful of.
And there's still so much more to explore. In the next part, we're going to look at some of the key developments we should be watching for as Optimus continues to evolve.
And we'll tackle some of those big unanswered questions that are still out there, so stick around for the final part of our deep dive. Okay, so we've talked about all the amazing things Optimus can do and the potential it has to really change the world. But let's be real, it's still early days, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Optimus is still kind of like a teenager, figuring things out, lots of potential, but still a lot to learn.
So what are the big things to watch for as Optimus grows up? What are those big unanswered questions?
Well, the AI, the brain, is the really exciting part. Like, how quickly will Optimus be able to learn new things?
Right. Can it adapt to new places, handle surprises, make decisions on the fly?
Exactly. And will it be able to, think for itself, use common sense, that kind of stuff?
So it's not just about following instructions. It's about being able to actually think and problem solve like we do.
Exactly. And that's like the holy grail of AI, getting machines to think like humans. It's a huge challenge.
And then there's the whole ethics thing.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. How do we make sure Optimus is used for good? How do we prevent bad stuff from happening?
Right, because with any new technology, there's always the potential for it to be misused.
Exactly. So Tesla's going to have to be really careful about how they develop and deploy Optimus.
And it's not just up to Tesla, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we as a society need to be thinking about these ethical questions too.
Absolutely. We need to have those tough conversations about, what role we want robots to play in our lives, what are the limits, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so we've talked about potential. We've talked about ethics, but what about the real world? Where will we actually see Optimus first?
Well, I think it's a safe bet that we'll see it in places where, robots can make things safer and easier.
Like those dangerous jobs, repetitive tasks, things that are hard on humans.
Exactly. Think like factories, warehouses, construction sites, places like that.
And we already talked about healthcare.
Right.
So
Yeah.
many potential applications there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hospitals, elder care facilities, even maybe in people's homes, helping them with everyday tasks.
It's kind of wild to think about, having a robot helper in your house. It's like something straight out of a movie.
I know, right? But it might not be that far off. And even though Optimus is super advanced, it's still a tool.
Right. It's up to us to decide how we use it, how we integrate it into our lives.
Exactly. We need to be smart about it, use it to make our lives better, not just because it's cool new tech.
That's a really good point.
Ugh.
Okay, last question. If you had to sum up the significance of Optimus, what would you say?
That's tough. But I think I'd say Optimus is like a glimpse into the future. It shows us what's possible when we combine, cutting edge robotics with really advanced AI.
It's like we're on the verge of something truly revolutionary.
Yeah, and it's up to all of us to make sure that revolution leads to a better world.
Well said.
Yeah.
This deep dive into Optimus has been amazing. We've talked about the tech, the possibilities, the challenges, and even the ethical questions.
It's been a wild ride.
It really has. But one thing's for sure, Optimus is just the beginning.
Yeah, who knows what amazing things are coming next.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you learned a lot and are as excited about the future of robotics as we are.